This is a presentation for entrepreneurial women who want to start or grow a business, make more money, and gain financial power and security. So welcome to this very special presentation on what women who earn 6 figures a year and above share in common. I'm so excited that you're here. Thank you for showing up. I know that your time is precious, so let's dive right in. Here's what we're going to be covering today. And here's what I hope you'll learn from our time together. So number one, what do women who make 100K and above have in common? What do they believe, know, and do? How can you become one of these successful, high-earning female entrepreneurs? Today, throughout this presentation, you'll also hear from some of my clients, women who are earning 100K a year, 250K a year, $1 million a year, and beyond. All of these women used to be earning a lot less, and now they're earning a lot more. And so I asked each client, what's the main thing that changed for you? What shifted that allowed you to start earning more money than ever before? And what was the attitude change? A change in how you manage your time, your business structure? What was the main thing that led to your breakthrough? You'll love hearing from these people. Each one has something different and powerful to share with you. So heads up, when you signed up to watch this presentation, you should have received a downloadable worksheet. Did you get that? It was emailed to you, so check your spam. Download that worksheet, print it out if you can. I'm gonna go to my desk and look at mine, and you can take notes on the worksheet as we go along. Okay, so got your worksheet? If we've never connected before, hi, my name is Susan. I'm a business owner, a wife, a mom of 2 kids, and a best-selling author. I'm a master certified life and business coach, and I've been coaching women for the last 14 years. So after thousands of coaching sessions, I have lots of insight into why women feel insecure, why we doubt ourselves, why we undervalue our work, and why we undercharge, why we get overwhelmed and struggle financially and get stuck, and how we can get unstuck too. So my mission is to help women feel strong and confident and powerful, including financially powerful. That's what drives me every day. Now you may have seen me in places like the Oprah magazine and Women's World and TV shows. I get around. So that's just a little information about me. Today, I'm the founder of a multi-million-dollar company with 10 full-time employees. And my company generates millions each year, and I'm determined to make 10 million by 2022. Of course, I didn't start out that way. Once upon a time, I was broke as a joke. For real, young kids at home, student loans, practically nothing in my checking account for a long time. Probably the lowest point financially was Christmas about 22 years ago. I really wanted to buy this $37 Boy Scout lot Christmas tree, and I had to float a check at the grocery store to buy it. So I've come a long way since that Christmas crisis, but I share that with you just to emphasize that no matter what your situation may be right now, it can dramatically change once you decide to commit to the work. Change takes commitment. I definitely didn't go from broke, sad Christmas to millionaire overnight. It took some time. But what I want you to understand is that a lot can change in a year or 6 months or even a few weeks once you decide to get serious about your money and make some courageous moves. I've seen clients have massive turnarounds and go from earning no money to 10K in 5 days or less. So when you commit and go all in on your goals, incredible things happen next. So are you in the right place? Before we charge ahead with this presentation, let's pause and check in. Are you in the right place? You're in the right place if you're an entrepreneur and you run a business or a side business, or you'd like to start a business soon. Or maybe you don't necessarily think of yourself as an entrepreneur. Maybe you identify as a coach or consultant or freelancer or service provider or educator. Or maybe you work in a corporate setting, but maybe you have an entrepreneurial spirit. You may not want to start a business in the traditional sense, but you want to serve people and impact lives, and you definitely want to add some new revenue streams to your life. And you're definitely in the right place if you're earning less than 100K a year or less than $1 million a year. And you're in the right place if You're tired of living in a world that's dominated by male leaders. You want to see more female leaders, female CEOs, a female president. You want to see a major shift in our world. And you recognize that in order to create that shift, we need money. We need a financial voice. As Susie Orman would say, we need financial power. So as long as white men hold the majority of the world's financial power, then we're never going to have true equity. Okay, so if anything I just mentioned resonates with you, stick around because this presentation is for you. All right, so I mentioned that worksheet. I'm going to look here, make sure I've got mine pulled up. All right, write down one reason why you're watching this presentation today. Why are you here? Fill in the blank. I'm here today because. Why are you here? Now, when it comes to building a successful business and earning a lot more money, there's a lot to say, much more than we can cover today in this quick training session. And I always like to remind people, this presentation is really just a snack. It's not the full meal. I mean, it's a good snack. It's like avocado toast or something. But you want to watch the presentation and feel a little bit like, what's next? I want to keep going and get that money. So if that's you, awesome. I have two options for you. I have a program called On the Six, and this is for women who currently earn less than $100K a year or need to set up their systems. Women who want to crack that six-figure ceiling this next year. I also have a higher level program called The Mastermind, and this is for women who currently earn more than $100K a year, and they just want to scale their business to $1 million or above. So it's advanced training for people who are ready to play big. So I'll share more details on those two programs later. But let's talk about clearing distractions, because in a moment, we're going to dive into the main part of this presentation. But before we do that, I want to encourage you to create a distraction-free zone for yourself. So close all those tabs on your browser, silence your phone, shut down Facebook. I just had to shut down Facebook so I didn't get in a political discussion. Close the door, put on your noise-canceling headphones, do whatever you got to do so you can focus on this presentation. Look, you cleared a chunk of your day to watch this, so let's make this time count. Clear distractions as a gift to yourself so you can concentrate and really get the most out of this experience. Okay, y'all set? Yay, let's dive in. First, I want to share with you the bad news, some statistics on women and money. So, only 9% of Americans earn $100K per year or more, and men are way more likely to reach the $100K mark. So, six-figure earning men outnumber women 3-1. And only 1.7% of female-funded, female-run companies generate 7 figures a year or above. So that's 1.7%. That means 98% of female-run companies never reach that 7-figure mark. But the good news is those stats, they're not pleasant to see, but you can change your situation. You can earn more money, and you can start today. There are women out there I work with every single day earning $100K, $1 million, 8 figures and above. They do exist. There might not be many out there yet, but there are some, and you can decide to be one of them. So here's the attitude shift that I want you to make right now. The old attitude, only 9% of people earn 6 figures. That's such a small percentage, I'll never make it into that top earning bracket. But the new attitude is only 9% earn 6 figures? Well, okay then. What can I do to ensure that I become part of that top 9%? What do I need to believe, know, and do to get there? If it's possible for others, then it's possible for me. And how can I help create a world where tons of women earn great money, not just a tiny percentage? In a moment, we're going to look at what do women who make 100K and above have in common? What do they believe, know, and do? And how can you become one of these successful, high-earning female entrepreneurs. But first, I have a really important question for you. Really, the most important question of all of this. Why do you want to earn more money? Why do you want it? You're watching this because clearly you'd love to be earning more money, but why? Is it because you want to make a down payment on a house? Is it because you want to hire the best math tutor in town for your daughter? Is it because you want to prove all the doubters wrong and prove to yourself that you really can do this? Because you want to be a role model, an inspiration to others? Connect with why you want more money. Now is the time to remind yourself why this matters to you. Because if your why is strong enough, then the how part becomes way more doable. All right, now it's your turn. Write down 3 reasons why you want to make more money. Got more than 3 reasons? Keep going. Make your list as long as you want. I know I want to create more opportunities for women in the world. I want to be a vision of what's possible. Your why may be different. All right, you wrote some answers down about why you want to make more money. Now let's look at how to make it happen. So we're looking at, what do women who make more than $100,000 have in common? What do they believe, know, and do? As a master certified coach, I've worked intimately with women for the last 14 years, and I've done thousands of coaching sessions. I've heard all the secret confessions. I've listened to all the drama. I've seen incredible transformations, and I've seen common traits that my most successful clients share in common. And one thing that high-earning women share in common is that these are women who think high-quality thoughts. So what's a high-quality thought? It's a thought that makes you feel powerful. It's a thought that brings you energy. It's a thought that may sound like this. If she can do it, I can do it. I am meant for this work. I'm going to bet on myself and win. I have valuable skills that my customers need. My work is important. If I could just get in front of the right client, I know I can really impact their life. I might not be making the money I want yet, but I know I can get there. It's not if I can get there, it's when. Those are some examples of high quality thoughts. Women who earn a lot of money, these are women who've learned how to think high quality thoughts. These are women who choose high quality thoughts every day, just like you might choose a song to listen to, or choose an outfit, or choose a meal. So when you choose high quality thoughts, this leads to high quality decisions, which leads to a successful business and more money rolling in the door. So go back to your worksheet and write down a low quality thought that you notice yourself thinking pretty often. And then write down a high quality thought to replace this old low quality thought. I just covered some things that high earning women believe. Now, next, what do they know? They know that it's important to surround themselves with smart, ambitious, high achieving women. They seek out these kinds of friends. They join clubs, they sign up for programs, they make an effort to get these kinds of women into their inner circle. They know that it's vital to invest in themselves, and they invest time, attention, and money into themselves and their business. So making an investment could look like upgrading your wardrobe and investing in 5 outfits that make you feel like a boss. Or it could be investing in professional training or coaching, or investing time, carving out time to work on financial goals. And they know how to get their attitude back on track. So when they notice themselves slipping into a low quality thought, they know how to shift out of that place and snap back into a high quality thought. While they may have moments or even days of feeling sorry for themselves, having a pity party, feeling doubtful or frustrated, they don't allow themselves to get stuck in that place. They're committed to pivoting their mindset and actions. They are comeback queens. They know how to get things back on track. All right, let's take a look at your worksheet again. And if you could sit down with a high-earning, high-achieving woman and ask her one question, what would it be? So I would love to ask what? Okay, so we've covered what high-earning women believe and know. Next, what do they do? So here's what they do. They block distractions. When it's go time, when it's time to focus on the business, they're not available for distractions or interruptions. They are fiercely protective of their time and their brain power. These are women who will say to their partners and kids, I love you dearly, but do not interrupt me for the next 3 hours while I'm working on my business unless the house is literally burning down. They set a consistent schedule and they keep it. These are women who show up for work in the early morning, dressed in their work attire, lip gloss on, ready to focus and get things done. Even if they work from home, they take things seriously and they're not just floating through the day. They have a plan and a schedule. I walk into this office like I'm on Dynasty. Okay. So what else? They have self-care. They exercise regularly. They get fresh air. They prioritize sleep. They eat food that brings them pleasure and energy. These are women that understand that they can't run a successful business if they feel like crap and have no energy. So what do these women not do? They don't get involved in piddly nonsense. You don't see women who are high earners fighting with people typically on the internet. They don't get sidetracked by the latest celebrity gossip. These women are focused. These women also do not do pointless busy work. They do power moves instead of busy work. This is something I teach all my clients. So a power move is an action step that doesn't require a lot of time, but it does require a lot of courage. So an example would be emailing a company to invite them to hire you for a consulting package that would bring in $20K. It takes maybe 15 minutes to send off that email, not much time, but it does take courage. And the rewards might be huge. That's an example of a power move, minimal time, major reward, power move. Lastly, high-earning women do not settle for crumbs and scraps. They do not settle for scraps of money, scraps of respect. They demand more. They have high standards for themselves and others, and they recognize that in order to get the whole cake and not just crumbs, you have to ask for it. So go back to your worksheet and take a look at one area of your life where you've been settling for crumbs because you've been too tired, too busy, or too afraid to ask for more. Okay, we just covered the things that high-earning women believe, know, and do. And right now, I want you to meet a woman who's very special to me, my client, Erica Akinboye. Prior to working with me, she was earning less than $100K and feeling very frustrated. She wanted more, but something kept blocking her. I'd love for you to watch this quick clip where she explains her breakthrough moment. So I asked her, what's the main thing that changed for you? What shifted that allowed you to start earning more than ever before? Was it an attitude change, a change in how you manage your time, a change in your business structure, something else? What was the main thing that led to your breakthrough? And here's what she said.
After realigning, my turnaround moment the scariest thing I did was firing my biggest client in a pandemic. I was like, this seems kind of backwards. Like, I'm aiming for $10,000 months. That was my big goal. And now with my new boundaries, my new pricing, and my new goals of what's possible, she didn't fit that. She was honestly my biggest client and my biggest pain in the ass. Like, I dreaded seeing an email from her, a message. Like, that's not how I want to spend my days. She didn't honor boundaries because I didn't have them. So now she's out. And what's just been really amazing with that reinvention, realignment, was the momentum that came and who I started attracting. The end of our time on the 6 together, I landed like my dream client. I was showing up for myself and I attracted just amazingness. I remember I was so ready. I had the Entreport template that Anna had helped me with. Like, I gave her 2 proposals. She's like, I want both. I want to pay in full. What you need to hear is I had my first $10,000 month, and I know it was the momentum of like this realignment and the shift internally to be like, I'm awesome at what I do. I just need to reinvent my boundaries, my pricing, and what's possible. And now it's like the new normal. And now it's, you know, I still show up consistently. I'm resilient. I'm taking that in, but it's not that over efforting.
Oh my gosh. Wasn't that awesome? All right, next, I want you to meet another woman. Her name is Brenda Lamelli. Prior to joining my mastermind program, she was earning pretty great money, definitely above 100K a year, but her income was stalling, plateauing, and she was struggling to grow beyond that point. But now she's in a totally new place. This year, she's had her highest earning month of all time, and she's on track to earn and exceed her goals. I asked her, what is the main thing that changed for you? What shifted? And here's what she said.
So it's been just like a year. It's kind of like it came hand in hand. It's been a year of a lot of challenges and also a lot of up leveling. And I think when you decide to let a challenge be an opportunity for an up level, like that's exactly what you can make it. And so Susan, you had reached out about a turnaround moment, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's 3 for sure, and it's hard to pick one. So you just mentioned one, like back, it was, I had just wrapped up February, and it was like my lowest revenue month ever since I had started my business. And I was like, so much fear is one way to describe it. And at the same time, if you can remember, that first week of March, second week of March was like, we're in a pandemic, like what is coronavirus, go buy all the toilet paper, like just fear, right? So there was so much fear. And so that was one. And then fast forward to early June-ish, I believe, was when we had, the video go viral of George Floyd, and then like so many, at least in my experience, like intense emotions around like race and racism. And so myself as a first generation Latina, Mexican American, and like that, even especially actually in the life coach world, my experience so many times is like, well, I'm like the only non-white person here, to be honest. And so that was a moment for me. And like you actually, one of the descriptors you just used for me as a thought leader, I think back in that month was like, what am I going to do with this? And what I decided is like, I'm going to step out and up to this, like louder and bolder and stronger than I have ever in my life. And so that challenge and that emotion, like I was able to essentially fuel into an up level, and my revenue came up right along with that. And then fast forward, probably not too much after that, maybe a month or so, like I remember we were in our mastermind meeting, and then I have like some of my our mastermind colleagues, you can probably remember, like every time I talked on that call, like I cried because I was like a mess. I felt like a mess. And so the emotion I could share for that time would probably be overwhelmed, because also I'm fairly a new mom. Like my daughter is a toddler. She's not even a year and a half. And so 2020 is like, there's all these things going on, but for me also, like I'm figuring out mom, like being a mom, which is in and of itself probably would have been enough of a challenge, honestly, and like being a business owner. And so I was just like tired. Like my kitchen was like always a mess, and my laundry was like always piled. And I was like, okay, this is not working. But anyways, that emotion there was like so much overwhelm, and maybe even like burnout, kind of like mommy burnout. All of that, again, this question, what am I going to do with this? So I had an opportunity once again to make a decision. And with that, I decided actually to like get into full on research mode. And if you guys have never heard of a house manager, because I hadn't, and then I did, and now I have one. And this is like a huge turnaround moment, because like I get to do my hair now, and like she makes dinner, like our dinner is already ready for later. And I'm over here like in my office coaching my clients, and our house manager is organizing laundry, and she like gets rid of, my daughter's name is Gianna, she gets rid of the stains on her, little onesies. I'm over here coaching my, like everything is an up level, but it's been me almost like stepping up. I was gonna say embracing, but embracing is like almost like doesn't really describe that like moment. It's like stepping up to the challenge in this very like strong, grounded, bold way, but with the fear and with the anger and with the overwhelm. Like it's all there with me. Like I don't want to present it as this like there's this pretty bow, moments,
Right.
All pretty moments. No, it's like, but it is a bold moment. And so there was always a decision of, what am I going to do? What am I going to do with this? Here I am, like, my kitchen's a mess or whatever. Like, what am I going to do with this? And so here we are now. When we started in the mastermind, like back in January, my like biggest breakthrough at that point had been essentially $350K in a 12-month period. And as of last month, I'm like 450K, or 450K-ish plus a little bit in the 12-month period.
Yep.
And it's been like challenging, but it's been meeting these moments with, I get to make a decision here, like, what am I going to do with this? And this, I know the work I'm doing right now that will be updated in a month is like my 7-figure work. So I'm that confident that I'm saying, you heard it here first.
All right. So we've covered a lot so far. Let's do a recap. So far, you've learned some upsetting statistics about women and money. You've learned what high-achieving, high-earning women have in common, what they believe, what they know, and what they do. And I've invited you to make a list and get clear on why you want to make more money. So when you look at your worksheet, what's the main thing you've gained from this presentation so far? Is there one idea or concept or tip that's sticking with you especially strongly? What is it? Write it down. So now what? We're coming towards the end of this presentation, and this is a real talk moment. Look, watching a presentation like this one, that's great. That's a wonderful step, but let's be clear. It's a first step. It's not a final step. If you're serious about changing your financial situation, then you need to do more than click play and watch an inspiring video. You really need to uncover what's been blocking you from earning more and address those money blocks one by one. And you also are going to need to set a specific financial goal for the next year and nail down your plan to make it happen. And you also need to come up with a plan to make sure you don't get overwhelmed. Overwhelm is the number one dream killer. So you need to plan ahead and decide, what am I going to put in place right now to avoid getting overwhelmed so that I keep taking action consistently week after week after week? What systems do I need? What support do I need? I would love to help you build your dream business and earn the money that you want. I want to be your partner on this journey and help you take the next step and the next and the next, all the way until you crack that 100K, million, 8-figure ceiling. Whatever your goal might be. So here's what you can do next. If you're earning less than $100,000 a year, then you're invited to join my program called On the Six. So this is a place to make big moves and really make this happen. That's On the Six's whole focus. If you're earning more than $100,000 a year, then you're probably a great candidate for the Mastermind. This program is all about bringing your business to the next level. More money, more media coverage, more freedom, breathing room in your schedule, more clarity about why you're here on the planet, and the legacy you want to leave behind. My team and I help you scale your 6-figure or multi-6-figure business to 7 figures. So I asked a few of my clients, what is your absolute favorite thing about being in my programs? What do you love most about this experience? And here's what they said.
I decided to join On the Six because I absolutely adore Susan Hyatt. It has been wonderful to learn from her.
So working with her has always, helped me continue to get more and more clarity in my work.
I think the energy and the excitement and really sort of locking arms with all these other amazing entrepreneurs that actually want to play big in their life and take their business to the next level has been amazing.
I love what we're learning from one another and that we can use camaraderie as we throw out ideas, combine it with Susan's coaching. It's just a brilliant experience and tons of energy.
I've been a coach for a little over 2.5 years now, and I just wasn't seeing the results that I wanted in my business. I didn't have the kinds of clients coming in that I wanted. And I've known Susan for a few years and done a couple of her smaller programs, and I'm ready to go all in, and she's the one to go all in with.
If you decide to join On the Six or the Mastermind, what do you get? Well, with either program, you get a powerful community. When you surround yourself with high-achieving, ambitious women, all this collective power rubs off on you. You feel inspired to do better, reach higher, and be your most powerful self every day. The power is contagious. And you get coaching from me and my team. We take your hand and guide you forward, giving you a path to follow to reach your goals. And you also get a place where it's okay to talk about money and celebrating having money. I point this out because this is a rare thing and it's so important. You need a place where you can post and share that you just had your first 20K month or 50K month and where you'll be cheered and celebrated. This is a community filled with women who know your name, know your goals, and genuinely care about you and check in to make sure you're staying on track. But most of all, what you get is results. You'll earn back your investment plus tons more. You'll make significantly more money. You'll have your highest earning year. You will be stoked that you did this. I would not be in business for 14 years if I didn't get my clients results, that's for sure. Many clients graduate from On the Six and go on to join the Mastermind because they love the experience and they want to keep going and hit that next financial milestone. So I often end up working with clients not just for 6 months or a year, but for several years, which I love. We develop a deep relationship over time. And I love being part of your story and your rise to success. And if your heart is saying, yes, I would love to do this, I want to join one of these programs, that's amazing. Here's the process. So you want to go to this URL. You want to choose the program that you want. So your choices are On the Six or the Mastermind. And then click the apply button. So it's a really quick application just to tell us a little bit about yourself, your work, your goals. And then my team, we all review the applications and someone from the team will contact you so that they can schedule a phone consult. And during that really brief phone call, we get to know you better. We discuss your situation in more detail and you can ask all of your questions about the program. And then you can decide if you want to officially enroll or nope. Occasionally, we do turn people away from our program. Not often, but sometimes. And the main reason we turn some people away, it's if we feel you need something else, like trauma counseling or an accountant or something that's just not what we do, because we don't want to take a dime of your money unless we're certain that we can help you reach your goals. Oh, and by the way, to say thank you for watching this entire presentation, we have an extra treat for you. So to recap, choose the program that fits your situation. If you're earning under 100K per year and do not have systems in place, then you want On the 6. If you have systems in place and you're earning more than 100K per year, then you want the Mastermind. So pick your program, click apply, fill out your application, and then we'll be in touch and go from there. Applying does not lock you into anything. You can apply and then ultimately decide you don't want to enroll, and that's okay. Applying is free and it does not confirm your enrollment. It just is the first step of the process. So go ahead and get that application in. You might have questions and we're here to help. Maybe you're just not sure which program is quite right for you because your financial situation is kind of complicated, or maybe you have a question about the community or the curriculum or the time commitment or something else. I would say go ahead and apply because that way you're able to schedule a call and ask all your questions then. However, if you want to pop us a quick email prior to applying, feel free. We have a team ready and available to answer all your questions, so feel free to contact the team. The easiest way to do that is to email support@shyatt.com. We've reached the end of our time together, and I want to leave you with just a few final thoughts. Like I mentioned earlier, 9% of people here in the US earn 6 figures and above. You can absolutely join that squad. You can be part of that high earning bracket. And as you rise higher, as you earn more money and build financial power, you can pass it along and pay it forward. You can share the power. You can elevate other women. You can share advice. You can help your sisters and your daughters. This is your financial journey, and you can bring others along for the ride. You can lift others as you rise. You can do this. So to wrap up this presentation, I want you to go back and connect back to your why. The one you wrote down earlier. Why do you want to earn more money? Why does this matter strongly to you? Maybe it's because you want to prepare for the future and have savings and have a retirement plan and know that you're all set no matter what. Maybe it's because you want to be in a position where you can write big checks to causes you care about. I just did that and it feels damn good. Maybe it's because you want to send your kid to the best possible college, or get a new car, or take an amazing trip and see the pyramids in Egypt after COVID, or because you want to be debt-free, or all of the above. Whatever your reasons may be, they are valid and beautiful. And let those reasons fuel you and power you into taking the next step. Onward and upward, ladies. Together we rise. I hope you'll say yes to working with me and my team, because we're damn good at what we do. But if you ultimately decide on another coach, another path, great. As long as you're taking action, good. That's what matters. Bust a move and start taking steps to create the future that you want. I'm Susan Hyatt, and I thank you for taking the time to watch this entire presentation. You only get one life. Make it count. No more procrastinating on your business and your money goals. It's go time.
What has kept me here is squad. What will keep you here is squad and the people that you connect yourself with. And I know that you hear that a lot, but it is the damn honest truth. There is no reason that in 4 years I should have a multi-million-dollar business other than my best friend decided to invest and say, hey, there's a woman who is smashing it in business and she's a good person. And her name was Susan Hyatt, and that friend is Rachel, right? And I'm like, wait, who is she? How do I get some of that, right? And so it has just been so incredible to connect with someone that is doing what you hope to do in this world. And so when people keep asking, like, how have you done what you've done this year? It is truly the people that you surround yourself with. So know that you are in the middle of an incredible opportunity, but it is what you then do with it. Because anyone can get introduced to incredible people, right? Then do we go into communion with them, and do we start doing the work? So I just want to let you know that the work works, and I would not be here if it weren't for a friend like Rachel, if it weren't for a friend like Susan, that has inspired truly the both of us, right? And
there have been many times when I have gone to Susan in just a hot mess, and she has helped me put the pieces back together to finish strong. And so I think one of those things is having somebody consistently in your life that you can turn to. I mean, Susan and I can go months without speaking, and then I can shoot her an email and say, oh, I need me some Susan. How can I pay you? So, and we know each other well enough now that I trust her and I can be totally vulnerable with her. So I think that's step number one in finishing strong, is having somebody there for you. Step number two is being able, well, maybe there are three steps. Being able to take a good, hard look at where things are not going the way you want them to go. So I'll give you a specific example. 2020 was a hard year for me. I know it was a hard year for everybody, but for a business year, Susan kicked my ass. So we had a launch that literally our doors opened the day that the President of the United States issued the stay-at-home order. And we're used to selling out our launches. I teach people how to sell out their launches. And needless to say, that launch didn't go the way I wanted it to go for a lot of reasons. And I was a hot mess when I talked to Susan. I was like, I think I need to quit. If I can't sell through the middle of this, then how can I teach people how to sell? I mean, I don't know what to do. And Susan gave me some really tough homework. She was very loving. She gave me some really tough homework. And she basically kicked my ass and said, you don't get to quit. You don't get to quit. And so I think that having somebody in your life who says you don't get to quit, who says, I see you and you can feel these feelings, and then the world needs you. I'll never forget Susan. You said, Susan's my coach. So she's my life coach. And she said to me on multiple calls, you don't get to quit because we need you. The world still needs you. And everybody has a bad year or a bad launch. Even the people who teach people how to launch. Like, do you think that you're such a special snowflake that you can't have a bad year? And I remember thinking, man, I've been pretty charmed not to have had a bad year, right? And so what I can tell you now on the other side of that is we may have one of our best years yet by the way we close out October, November, and December, in spite of having that bad launch. And the conversations I had with my husband about, I'm just going to close the doors, like I'm done. I can't believe that I was that person.
Susan was like, you need to ask people to pay you money. And I was like, oh no, this is not the time. It's COVID. You know, there's way more important things going on now than my business, like the Black Lives Matter movement. And she was like, you are the primary breadwinner. You need to earn some money, girl. And I was like, I'm fine earning what I'm earning. I don't need to earn more. And then I said, okay, well, I'm just going to send out a few emails. So I actually closed the doors to my membership program, which was a big risk for me. And I made $6,000 just by sending 3 emails saying, hey, just so you know, I'm closing the doors. So if you want to join. Okay, so urgency actually works. So then I made $6,000. I was like, wait, what? And then I put out there that I was doing a special one-on-one program, a VIP program, and I sent out another 3 emails, $10,000. And I was like, I just had a $16,000 month during a pandemic, during a period of extreme social unrest, and staying in alignment with my values and doing the right thing. And like, it wasn't like I was like, oh, I have to like still do Facebook ads to keep my business. Like, I mean, I felt like I I was like, wow, I'm being rewarded for staying in integrity. And that was the biggest month I'd had in 2020 and during the worst possible conditions. So I thought, oh man, my mindset was really needed to shift. So thank you, Susan.
So for those of you who don't know, I am a career and leadership coach, and I spent 20 years in corporate America and just leapt out into coaching in 2019. And so when I leapt out into coaching, I was just doing kind of generic leadership coaching. So I was coaching both men and women, and companies would either hire me to come speak and lead training, or they would hire me to coach their leaders, both men and women. And I knew that in 2020, I wanted to make a shift to start focusing more on women. In fact, my word of the year was align. I'm like, okay, I need to align my business, and I want to eventually stop coaching both men and women in corporate and just focus on women and help women advance, help them advance to the rooms where decisions are made, help them make brave career changes. But in my mind, I was like, oh, I'm totally gonna have like 2 years to make this transition. I'll just kind of slowly, say goodbye to my corporate coaching of both men and women, my generic coaching, and I'll eventually just scale my business to grow to be just women. And then COVID hit. So literally in a period of, it felt like overnight, but I'm not joking, in probably a period of 10 days, I lost 80 to 90% of my annual income.
Wow.
So I was on track to clear well into the 6 figures this year at the beginning of the year.
Right.
Because I had corporate speaking engagements. I had corporate contracts secured to coach leaders of all these companies. And in the period of 10 days, companies canceled all of their speaking engagements. Therefore, they canceled me. All the conferences I was paid to speak at, that got canceled too. So that canceled me. And then the corporate contracts that I had for coaching men and women, they were laying off employees, which means they lay off contractors. And that was also me. So,
Holy cow.
Yeah, 80% of my, 80 to 90% gone. So what did I do? I had a massive pity party, which included like 2 weeks. I mean, let's just be honest, right? I mean, like, you're like, holy shit, how am I supposed to just like keep going? I thought I was going to be making great money, and now I'm making no money. And so yeah, I had, the massive pity party for myself and figured out, oh my God, what the hell am I going to do? But I had like this aha moment where I'm like, wait a minute, like nothing can get any worse. So if I'm going to rebuild my business, like I have nothing to lose. I have absolutely nothing to lose. So I'm going to focus rebuilding it on the clients that I want to have. I want to build the business that I want. And my mission is to help women advance to the rooms where decisions are made. And it was also right about the time where Susan was running Miracle Week. And so I'm like, okay, perfect. And I'm always all in on all of your stuff anyways, and have been for some time. But like something that you did in Miracle Week was so impactful for me. And we also did this exercise again and on the 6th, which again, it should be revisited every quarter, where she has you make a coat of arms for your business. And it was the time for me where I could get really clear about what I stood for. Mm-hmm. So to quote Hamilton again, like if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I need to get clear on what I believe, what my mission is, who I support, and what I'm going to advocate for, and how I'm going to show up in the world. And I made the decision that I was like, I have to do this because it's not just important for me and my family and my mission and my values, but somebody out there is counting on this. So I just decided that I was like, I'm going to go all in. My word of the year was align. And align for me was actually just like saying no to so many things so I could go all in on my mission. And as we started on the 6th, I don't remember exactly what you said, Susan, but it was just even something to the effect of like, how conscious are you about asking for things? So I was like, all right, I'm going to take my little crest and how I run my business, and I'm going to be clear about exactly what I'm asking for and who I'm asking to do business with. And so as the year has kind of turned around, I've, because I've gotten so clear on my message and so clear on who I'm talking to, I filled my largest group program ever. I doubled my one-to-one prices and sold my first signature coaching program. Corporate companies started to come back in and say, hey, by the way, we're actually like rolling again. Can you come and do leadership training for us? And you guys, this is the hardest part. I had to say no to that money. Like, because it was my old business model. And I'm like, if I say yes to that, I'm just rebuilding what I don't want. So I said no, and here's actually how my business has shifted, and here's what I'm working towards. And I was shocked because people were like, oh, well, we actually know somebody who needs that, or we actually have a program like that here. Go ahead and send me over your programs and your rates so we can consider to put you in our schedule. I booked a paid keynote at a women's leadership conference next year because, again, I was advocating, and I actually got a request for another keynote next year just 2 days ago. So like all of just going all in on my message and saying no to the wrong things has really helped me live kind of my word of the year, which is align.
It was in those moments where I really felt like what we were learning in On the Six was this idea of going all in on your business and all in on yourself. And if anyone knows me, that is like the motto of my life. When I do things, I go all in on them. But I was having a conversation with Susan and with Patty. And one of the things that I realized that I was doing in this moment, even though my business had started to grow, was I was actually doing that. I was like pushing myself away from the table, and I was hiding. And it was killing me. And I couldn't understand why, when I coach people to not hide, and I'm in all these groups with people who are not hiding, like, why am I still hiding? And so I was talking with Susan and Patty about this. And finally, they had given me some advice, like, you need to really get out there and show yourself and show who you are and celebrate it. And it's okay to think that, you're struggling and you're not, changing these thoughts, like you're still stuck. But what you need to really do is, like, you need to own that you're there because you're choosing it, and you're choosing not to do it because you're scared. And I was like, oh my God, so blown away. Because that's what it was. I really thought that the moment that I was going to sort of show up was when I wasn't scared. And I realized, like, nope, I'm going to take that girl and I'm going to throw her in the back seat and we're going anyway, And so I did. I started to show up, and I started to show up scared, and I started to show up when I didn't know what to say, and there was so much going on in the world, and I tripped through it. And all of a sudden it's like this floodgate opened, and my business boomed. And it was my goal in On the Six to break 6 figures by June. And June 30th came, and I missed my goal by about $8,000. And then the first week in July, I crushed it. Like, I went right by it. And in September, now in this next round of On the Six, I had the biggest launch of my career. And I'm helping women in a mastermind that I launched. So 2020 has been a crazy year, but I really do believe that I am an example of what's possible for everybody. I'm